We didn't have any exposure to the outside world. There weren't TVs or phone, cell phones, and we didn't really had any comparison to our living standards, at least as a kid, to other people's living standards. Everybody in the camp kind of had the same way of life, and so I just thought that was normal, and I never felt, disadvantaged or anything like that.
Do you remember getting that news that we're leaving?
It was really exciting, actually. We once you're in a camp and a lot of people leave all the time, you hear all about America and the States, and you have very high expectations for the States. And I'm sure any kid from a refugee camp coming to the States can attest to this, that you just expect big things. So we were excited. We were really excited. We got all dressed up. We got new outfits, and we got henna done, and it was the beginning of a new journey, and our parents were excited, and we were too. So I think where your memories are is really where home is, and that's why I think home is Minnesota. I guess where I identify with is Somalia, because I'm always asked where I'm from. No one ever looks at me and perceives I'm from Minnesota. Me, or even like what race is. Like I remember the first time that came up was at school, and I had to check a box for a race, and I didn't understand what that was. I thought everybody was American, and then I was a different person. I just came here, where that's not the case in this country. It's that people are supposed to fit in boxes based on the color of their skin, and that I belong to another box with other Americans based on my skin. Outside the world, outside the States, no one asks you what your race is. People ask you what your nationality is. It's like, hey, are you from Kenya, Somalia, Ethiopia? Where are you from? But no one ever says, hey, I need you to check a box based on the color of your skin. So I think that's one thing that we can do better. Each other's similarities instead of differences. And when I say they, I mean like new Americans and people that are from Grand Forks have always lived here. I think Grand Forks, unlike Minneapolis, has really that small town culture that they can utilize to be able to make people feel like neighbors, make people feel like, hey, I know you, I know your family, I know your children. And that's already the culture here. That's already the customs here. And if that's utilized to also include new Americans, that just will make the community stronger instead of viewing new Americans as the outsiders. And I think that's one of my favorite things about Grand Forks. Is really when I go to a coffee shop, I know people by name, and I see my professors around the city, and you run into people, and that's that small town living. Every place has something unique about it, and I think Grand Forks, people are really nice here. People really are invested in their community, and they're invested in in each other, and that's something that we can do that also for new Americans. And new Americans are looking for a home. They're looking for a place to belong to. That's why they're here. They left everything behind so they can find new opportunities for themselves and for their children. They're not interested in being isolated or alienating themselves. They're very much interested in becoming part of the community. So I think that the tough job is figuring out how to connect the two communities and having people that really work towards that. And I think that's something that I want to take part of in my time here. And really just being an example that we're not that different from each other on both sides. That's really my objective. That when people speak to me and they get to know me, that they realize, hey, Ifrah is just like me. Before law school, I was a social worker. I worked for Hennepin County and Ramsey County. I worked with inner city youth and the court system, and then that motivated me to go to law school. And I'm a second-year law student at University of North Dakota, and it's been an amazing experience, really. And I'm not really sure what area that I want to practice or what I want to do in the future, but I know I want it to be at a place where I can advocate for others, and I can use my experiences, take the best of both cultures. At least that's what I was taught. That's what my parents taught me, is really once something new emerges, look at it, learn it, take the best aspects of it, and then leave the rest. And that's how I've been able to balance who I am with the fact that I'm part of both two different cultures.